And so please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
Well, like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
like this guy.
Is this really happening? He met the other guy behind you, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see now you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
so
fair.
You're more in the category like Luther Arnold. Okay?
My man. Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic.
That's great, partner. You two ever go out place everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go. We head to Kroger's, and we work.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God! And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog.
How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes
can
expression.
you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
How
I
do you do it?
mean,
Teach
the
me
smile,
something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you know you gotta get the smile going on some shoes, but you know.
Wait, hold up.
You got.
I got
when
try
it's
this
time,
with
when,
you.
it, when it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try this
you gotta
with
think
you.
of something funny and start laughing.
Do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
Sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
This is sexy eyes right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
Wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Yes. Good morning, everybody. It's Friday. We made it, guys. We made it through the week. It has been the longest week in the world for me. But on a positive tip, it has been the longest week in the world for me. You know what I'm saying? It's been a productive, a wonderful, miraculous week for me for the past couple days. You know, I got to see the miracle of life right in front of my eyes, which is really cool. Obviously, talk about these crazy asses that's going on all over the politics in the world, pop culture, you name it, everything else. You know what I'm saying? So it has been a long week, but it also has been a great long week. And we got the fellas in the house it's weird because Jack has been like in and out like a mug lately. You know, some days he's there and some days he isn't.
Like
and
enigma.
Yeah, he's like, what's going on with this dude?
Christmas ninja.
You know what I mean? He's like the shelf. He's the elf on the shelf. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know where he's gonna be. It's like, oh, there he is. Holy cow. Oh, he's gone in 10 minutes. And he really is going to be gone. Yeah, he's bucking a truck. You say that wrong, it sounds different.
Hey.
If you mishear it, it sounds like something else. You know what I'm saying? Hey. Yeah, I want to go personal, but I'm not about to do that. I'm not. My name's Buck, and I like to, you know what I'm saying? Never.
Yeah.
Have you ever said anything like that? And gotten away with it?
Only in jest after watching Kill Bill.
There we go. Fair enough.
And
Fair
even
enough.
even in that situation, like that guy got killed. So
He most definitely did. He most definitely did.
yeah,
Seems like that'd be a good pickup line you should try sometime. Oh, I guess you're married, but
I'll try it on my wife.
Yeah.
And let me know. Well, we will
I'll let you
know
know
if
what
it
the couch
works.
feels like.
I was gonna say we'll know if it works, because if you show up on the next show and you're still alive, then great. If him did, then we know it didn't work out, right? Anyway, buck in the truck. Anyway, yeah. So we should do that though. Actually, that's a brilliant idea. We should dress you up as an elf, right? And then put you in a truck. But you're in like in a truck, but in random places. Because see, here it is.
Random trucks.
There's random trucks. Random beds of trucks.
you got to put Christmas lights around the truck too. I'm sure you can hook it up to the battery.
Oh, nice.
See?
Yeah, I always see the people that have the LED lights that go on underneath the bottom of their trucks.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hang Christmas lights. It'll be great.
It sounds
I
brilliant.
won't draw any attention to me.
None whatsoever. But think about it. You know what I'm saying? That'd be kind of funny. Buck in a truck.
Right.
Where will he be next? But you're dressed up as an elf, and maybe you're just, you know what I'm saying? It could be the same truck, but you're just in random spots.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun.
Oh, you're like trying to get
about
a
it.
skit idea going, aren't you?
The wheels
no
always
pun
turning.
intended, eh? Because they're talking about trucks.
Word.
Hey.
Is there anywhere to off-road in St. Louis? That would be a good place to go. Get some winter images and stuff.
Yes. There's always the like the side of the river. We just go.
Shot of the river. You know what I mean? Shot of the river. Anyway,
Truck
just
down by the river.
in a van, in a truck, yeah. Buck in a truck down by the river. Oh, that'd be funny. But anyway, hopefully you guys are all having a good morning. It's Friday, y'all. I know. I'm seeing David, commenting here. It's way too early for all of us. You know what I'm saying? It's way too early. I am tired. Just like these guys are too. It's Friday. Now, this is the time when you feel the week start to play a toll on your body. You know what I mean? Even myself, I'm fighting a cold right now. How lovely is that? You know what I mean? Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, I get plenty of
Salty.
sleep so you can take care of those little babies, those
You know
dog
what?
baby puppies.
Maybe you're allergic to new puppies.
Ah.
I mean, it's not cold at all.
I'm allergic. Yeah, I'm allergic to just cuteness. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying? Like,
You know what I'm saying?
oh my God, do that one more time to embarrass yourself. One more time, please.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, stay in your lane. Anyway, I'm just playing. You know I love you, Jack. But unfortunately, Jack is only going to be on with us for like about 11 more minutes, allegedly. But I also want to do this though too, because I gotta show off this, because this I don't even know how I'm going to be able to drink this during the show, but this thing is freaking massive. Do you see this thing, y'all?
It's the entire
This thing
pot of
is
coffee.
huge. This thing is
What does it say in the front?
feast mode.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah. Isn't it though? My girl surprised me with it last night. Said, "Hey, I got you something I think you're gonna really like." I'm like, "This is dope. I love it." But I'm trying. Here's the. It's just heavy. It's just really, really heavy. This is something for you, Jack. You would love this. Facts,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I'll just get the whole. Is it carafe? Carafe?
Yeah.
I'll just get the
Carafe.
whole carafe, and I'm going to put some stickers on the side that says feast mode.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
it might melt the stickers though, because that glass will still be hot. At least that's got some insulation, I imagine.
Or just wrap it in foil, right? Wrap it in foil, then put feast mode around it. Then
Throw a
nobody
little
knows.
tinsel on there.
Yeah.
It'll be good to go.
There you go. Then nobody's the wiser, right?
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
How many, once you empty it, how many of the puppies would fit in that cup?
Oh,
You want to know something funny? All four. I mean, they're literally the size of my whole hand, and they're really they're really small. This thing is freaking huge. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Hey, look at this thing.
you just look
You know
at
what I
it.
mean? Well, you look at it, how big it is. It's huge. So, excuse me. So, all four would fit in here with ease, and extra room to grow. You know what I'm saying? That's not a bad idea, actually. That's a photo waiting to happen. But the thing is that it says feast mode, and I have dogs in there. It would make it seem like I'm ready to eat these dogs.
You got to fill it up with kibble first, and then that way it's overflowing with kibble in there too.
Yeah.
So I'm drowning the little puppies in kibbles and bits.
Maybe like
Yes.
pepperoni sticks, like candy canes on the side or something.
Ooh.
Oh, that'll work. That'll work. Cookies and stuff. Let me just say this. These dogs are still blind. They can't see and they can't hear. So I'm not about to put them through something like that. You know what I'm saying? They're just going to be like, "What the hell is going on?" You know what I mean? That's torture.
Yeah.
That's animal cruelty.
How dare you suggest that, Jack?
How dare you? He doesn't care about dogs. He doesn't care about animals. That's a lie and a half.
I'm gonna bring my
totally kidding.
cats over to fight your dogs.
Please do that. See
Man,
what
my
see
video is
what
so
happens with
choppy.
the
Is that
dogs.
you guys seeing that too?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird. It's
I'm
weird.
like a Picasso.
So I have the second best camera right now.
Yes, that's right.
That is true. Now, finally, he's won for this one time. This one time. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with your camera, bruh.
Yeah, this is weird. Like, my internet's fine, so that's strange.
It'll figure it out. Actually, this is what he naturally looks like, y'all. The camera actually is... The camera actually, he's been using a filter this entire time. Finally, you see that he's not, we actually see the true him. There we go. Just do that one more time. Do that one more time. There you go. That's
kind of horrifying.
Yes. Somebody screenshot that and send that to me. Anyway, we got to jump into some of the news. You know what I mean? We got to jump into some of the news. Well, there was a football player. This is a viral video that's going all over the place since overnight. There was a high school football player from Texas that was ejected from a game. And after he gets ejected from the game, he retaliates with intentionally blindsiding, like hitting the referee right on the field. So I'm going to show you guys the video because it's jacked up. It's really jacked up. But while it's doing this thing, so the football player's name is Emmanuel Duran. He's a junior at the South Texas school. He was ejected for a late hit and unsportsmanlike penalty against the Far San Juan Alamo or against a Far San Juan Alamo player prior to tackling the official, who reportedly was monitoring or who is being reportedly monitored for concussion-like symptoms, but left the field under his own power. This kid, I don't know. This is called when roids go way wrong. Real talk. This is disqualified. Oop, there we go. You already heard a little bit of it. But check this out, y'all.
Has been disqualified.
Bruh, one more time.
Has been disqualified.
One more again. Boom! Shakalaka. Well, that's when roids getting, that's when you are on roids and you get in your feelings. Real talk. There's no reason for this kid to be tackling the referee if he had done something that was unsportsmanlike. If he did a late tackle, which is what they said, he had a late tackle. It was a late hit, and he was penalized for unsportsmanlike conduct. It's freaking nuts, man. So let's see. They exchanged. So Duran and the official exchanged words after the play was over. Garcia ejected. So the official, whose last name is Garcia, ejected Duran from the contest, from the game, after back-to-back unsportsmanlike penalties on the same play. So he did a whole bunch of things in one sitting. Like he took care of he did basically. Emmanuel was really busy, just really busy for a good few minutes there, or for a good few seconds there. He tackles this a player. I guess he did something else. Whatever he did, he wanted to start some ish. The official, the referee, Garcia, said, "Nah, you're out. Get the hell off my field." He gets off the field, and then suddenly he blindsides the referee, just like what we saw. What are your thoughts on this, guys? I mean, it's to me, it's clear, black and white. Clearly, this kid is on roids, or he's got some anger management issues. You know what I'm saying? Let's not go straight to performance enhancing drugs, but clearly, this kid needs to be just completely taken off the field, period. He shouldn't be playing football. He's got some anger management issues. Fellas, what are your thoughts?
I mean, unsportsmanlike conduct, like at the basis, right? But I imagine that I don't know what type of protections the students and players have in regard to legality and stuff, but like that could be considered assault. I imagine from him like just blatantly running into the guy with intention to hurt him. So I could see him getting some kind of lawsuit dropped on him. And because that guy was looking, it wasn't even like looking at him. Like it was like
blindsided him.
Blindsided. I mean, that was, yeah. I mean, I see that leading to a lawsuit, and it shouldn't happen. That's not how it's unsportsmanlike. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's roids or just like was it the big game? Was he there and people were out there scouting him? Was it a did he mess up an opportunity by being like ejected from the game originally? And yeah, I don't know. That's just not right, though.
Well, either way, he made sure that at least he shouldn't have a career after this. I mean, he straight up attacked the referee. That wasn't even an accident or part of the game or anything. And it sounds like he wasn't arrested when he was kicked out, but I would not be surprised to see some sort of civil suit against that. I don't know how old the kid is, so maybe he's too young for all the info to be released.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it just looks like a straight up, basically an attack. It's not anything else.
I heard the XFL's actually already recruited him.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious if they did. And the funny thing is clearly he's a big old boy, right? That's a big old boy, Emmanuel is. And he should know better. Obviously, he should know better. Whatever happened on the field happened on the field. He clearly needs to figure out whatever is making him so angry, or he needs to learn how to control those violent tendencies, because that could drag into real life. Obviously, it dragged into real life. It wasn't even a play. He went and attacked the referee because the referee called him out on some stuff that he shouldn't have been doing in the first place. You got to go?
Gotta go. I gotta bring the kids to a doctor's appointment.
Dag nabbit.
We missed our
send me the
opportunity there, but
send me the email me the quiz. Email me the quiz, and I'll do it. All right.
Happy
Cool.
Friday.
You too, man.
Peace.
Peace.
Beast mode.
Beast mode. Anyway, so there it is. There you have it. That's a crazy, unfortunate story. The kid needs to learn how to be a little bit more in control of his anger. He needs to find a way to tranquilo. You know what I'm saying? Calm them feelings down.
Like, they might recruit someone that tackles the quarterback a little later early, but like,
I mean, I don't know. I've heard a lot of other stories about football players that get that have histories of violence and still get recruited. It just depends on how badass of a player you are. A lot of them go, we'll fix him. We'll fix him later. We'll work on his anger management issues, or we'll work on his drug use, or we'll work on his whatever. You know what I mean? Because he's just a really good player. Now, I don't know how he is as a player. I don't know if he's really that good or not. But at the same time, maybe things are different nowadays, but I've heard stories about dudes that have always had a history of violence outside, off the field and on the field, and they still get recruited because they're a badass player. So, and then all the coaches say the same BS, or the teams say the same BS of like, oh yeah, we'll fix him. We'll fix him later. You know what I'm saying? Or we'll fix him while he's here. We will raise him to be a gentleman, out there in public too. And it never happens. It never happens. That history of violence seems to just come creeping back in. That anger seems to keep coming back. Because you got to use that anger. You got to use that fuels the engine for them to do what they do on the field. You know what I'm saying? Even with fighters, same thing. It's that that rage is that energy that they use in the ring. It's a necessary ingredient for being in the ring or being on the field, you know, on something that's such an aggressive sport, you know? So I don't know. It's messed up. It's messed up, and the thing is, homeboy needs to go sit down, figure his life out. He needs to go and figure something out. Real talk. He needs to go figure it out. But anyway, let's move on to the next story. The next story we have here, David's got this story that I find really, really weird. There's a bodybuilder that married his own sex doll. I'm not kidding. This is why the title is called Freaky Friday. So this is really why yeah. So bodybuilder marries his own sex doll. David, what's going on with this, man?
All right, so
what is going on? Why?
I don't know what's going on, man. I can just tell you what happened, but I don't know why.
Okay, let's get it. Come on with it.
All right, so apparently, this guy in Kazakhstan, he's a huge bodybuilder. His name is Yuri Tolochko. Has married his sex doll, whose name is Margot, and says that he is deeply in love with her. They had their first romantic dance in front of a dozen guests who attended the traditional ceremony, which was shared on Instagram. And the actor and bodybuilder went on to say that, the marriage happened. It's going to continue. And he says that couples need to talk less and connect more. With time and experience, Margot and I realized that it takes more than words to have a conversation. And he added, your partner sure deserves the best, but they have to do their part. And so, this is just a straight up sex doll. It's fairly, I guess, relatively realistic looking. I haven't seen a lot of sex dolls, but yeah. So he says,
I'm sorry, you can continue here in a second, but do you have a photo of said bodybuilder with sex doll or anything of that sort? Can we see this person?
Yeah.
Because I know, because I understand love is blind, but holy God, what the hell?
Yeah, I messaged you on Twitter. I mean, as far as plastic or rubber goes, it doesn't look bad, I guess. But I
mean,
I wouldn't marry it.
Oh my God! Wait! I'm sorry. Can you repeat what you just freaking said one more time? In regards to the rubbers, it's not so bad. What? Come on, man. Come on.
I mean, he's talking about it like a wife, and it's just like a giant toy that he's dancing with. So. It's not a bad toy, I guess, but it's a strange thing to marry. I wouldn't marry my Ninja Turtle toys from when I was a kid, or April O'Neil toy, or whatever.
Oh my God.
But each their own, I guess.
Oh my God. This is I mean, I understand that it's a thing, you know what I mean? But what the hold on, this internet stuff is slow and it drives me nuts. Hold on, guys. I got the photo, but tell me what he said. You said that he was saying more. There was more to it.
Yeah. So basically the last thing he said. Let me find it one more time. Okay. This is from him. He added that he enjoys BDSM, and then he goes on to say, "I love being tortured. I can endure a lot of pain. I love to dominate too. Margot is capable of what other people are not capable of," he says. And they are both consenting partners. The only requirement for the wedding is that they be consenting partners, and they have to be male and female and over 18. And I guess the doll counts as female, so it's legal.
Okay. He's into BDSM, right?
Yeah.
But is he the one that's into is he the sadist or is he the masochist? That's the question.
Well, he said he likes pain.
Yeah, he said I like pain, but that doesn't mean he likes to administer it or receive it. But here it is. If he likes to receive pain, how can he do that with a doll? How can the doll, swing? You know what I'm saying? How can the doll do whatever it needs to do to give him his ain? You know what I'm saying, my brothers and sisters. How can that do BDSM? Unless it's receiving it. Okay? That is a sex doll, y'all. That is an inanimate object, y'all. That is just a rubber thing with holes. And you're telling me this thing gives him painful pleasure? How does that happen? How? Look at that.
I just want to point out in that picture how happy and turned on he kind of looks.
He looks like he's in full bliss.
Yeah.
He looks like he is in this is a blissful photo. He looks like he is in love. Bruh, like I can no longer live my life the way it is anymore. I have to tell you the truth. I've been in love with my Cabbage Patch doll since the day I met it. I just got to be honest. It's now, you know, it's the original sex doll. No, I'm totally kidding. What the hell? Real talk. This is the stupidest. I mean, okay. Everybody deserves to have their own happiness. Everybody deserves to have their own version of happiness. But clearly this guy is not fully 110% there. You know what I'm saying? Like mentally sound. For you to sit there and say, what was the quote that he said in the very beginning about silence? Like, I get it because the thing doesn't talk back, but it's a sex doll. And he said a relationship is about, what did he say again? A relationship is about what again?
He says that couples need to talk less and connect more. With time and experience, Margot and I realized that it takes more than words to have a conversation. Your partner sure deserves the best, but they have to do their part. I just want to keep pointing out, he's talking like this doll is got its own consciousness and agency going on here. It's not. He's not just saying like, I'm doing this with this doll. He says this doll is also having these feelings and taking part in this kind of conversation.
I don't. I'm sorry. I can't wrap my mind around this one. This is a tough one. I'm not gonna lie. This is nah. I just can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, here it is. LGBTQ community, I'm all with it. Love who you want to love. Be who you want to be. Be with whoever you want to be with. But an inanimate object, like there's stories of people who actually married their cars. You know what I'm saying? And they feel like they make sweet love to their car. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people who do that. I get that. I mean, I get that those things are real, but I just can't wrap my mind around any of it. It's an inanimate object. It's not even a, you know what I'm saying? It can't respond back. It is, how can you find bliss and happiness on something that isn't a real, living, breathing being?
There's some stuff going on in Japan. I could I don't have the articles here, but I've read them before. I can tell you about it. It's pretty similar. One of the things, they've been coming out with a lot of dating machines lately, basically. One of them was a VR system where you can date a animated character. It has the ability to feed you, and like that's part of it. And one of them was used for a person to marry his favorite anime character. And they actually had a woman standing in to like put on the ring or whatever, so that he had this full virtual marriage to an anime girl. And then they also just came out with a new product that it seems to be selling pretty well, where it's just this little machine that goes on your forearm, like right here, and then it holds your hand like a woman's hand, and you just walk around holding that hand. And that's a really popular product that just came out about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago.
What?
So there's some weird stuff going on with that.
Wait, and that's in Japan? The thing that holds your hand?
Japan. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's weird. That's weird. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I understand that it's a very lonely time nowadays. Things have been more and more like we are distancing ourselves even more. I mean, literally, we are social distancing like a mug right now. But I'm even saying before the Rona, before the pandemic, we were literally distancing ourselves through just the internet, social media, internet, all that. We're using websites to connect instead of going to, public gatherings and actually meeting your future love of your life. We're finding those things online. We're clicking and swiping right and swiping left. It's getting more and more distant. And then on top of that, we're distancing ourselves even more now that it's causing a lot of issues, which I totally understand. But this, where a dude is going and marrying his own doll and saying that this is what love is supposed to be. One, that's a very male chauvinistic view on things. I mean, that's like some old school, like Leave It to Beaver type stuff. You're like, hi, honey, where's my martini? But it's totally askewed. It's a very messed up view on what love is supposed to be or what love is. And on how to meet somebody. I mean, this is where we're going. This is the route we're going. I have seen, I've never seen it to the extent of actual marriage, okay? But I've seen where people are actually going and having full-on relationships with sex dolls. I've seen documentaries about this. HBO's been doing this stuff like real sex. That whole thing is real. It's a real thing. But what I find very strange is that you are willing to marry this product. This is where we're going right now, guys. I mean, because there's a lot of guys out there and women out there that have a hard time. We're becoming so much more socially distant that we are starting to fall in love with our own products, our own possessions, rather than finding someone who will actually love you and you can love back, because we are becoming socially inept. We can't be in the same room with somebody without feeling socially awkward. There are more people out there that have social anxiety than ever before. And it's because of we're too busy looking at our phones. We're too busy looking at the TV screens or computers, trying to find love there rather than braving ourselves to get out there in the general public and put yourself out there on display to find that person that may be the one. It's sad. That's a really, I'm sorry, that part of that story is really sad to me. You know what I'm saying? It is. And he's not the first, and he's most definitely not the last to do something like this. There are people out there that literally have full-on relationships with sex dolls. Not marriage, but they do have full-on relationships with sex dolls instead of braving themselves out there and meeting the one, hopefully finding the one. It's just really sad. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, I mean, you put it that way, you're completely right. It's definitely it seems like it's a huge problem that's spreading everywhere. I mean, both Japan and Kazakhstan, very modern, developed. I mean, they have these technologies that they're using. Obviously, you can only have like technological stand-ins for emotions in these developed countries, and it seems to be becoming really popular lately. It's not just in Japan. I mean, we got this Kazakhstan story. There's a few others that are less interesting that I've seen. And there is this kind of, I think one Japanese professor called it an epidemic of loneliness. And that's why people are engaging in these unhealthy behaviors. I mean, obviously, treating something that's not even alive like a human is just really unhealthy. And also, like you said, you or someone said it, that it creates more damaging expectations of what a real person is like and prevents people from being able to have real relationships. And if this keeps continuing, and it seems like it is because it's a successful market in some places, and it's getting more and more coverage. So I think it will continue to be a problem, not just because of coronavirus, though that obviously has been a huge factor in accelerating this.
Yeah.
But there's this thing in a lot of first world countries where the not natives, but like the people that have been living there for many generations, just do not seem to be marrying as often. This is the same with American younger men and women, the same with Japanese and Russian. There's probably other countries too. And like people just aren't getting as married and tend to be more isolated now. And yeah, like you said, it's creating these unhealthy behaviors where people aren't engaging in realistic relationships. It's just an imagination or a game that they're kind of playing, that they delude themselves into thinking it's a reality.
Yeah. And that's what's so sad about it, because people really need to start learning. People in general really need to start learning how to interact face to face with people. We're not doing that anymore. Shoot. I mean, even this show is a perfect example. I've never physically met David in my entire life. Ever. We've become friends on here, but we've never shared a beer. You know what I mean? We've never gone out and worked out together or anything crazy like that. You know what I mean? We've never gone and hung out and grabbed some coffee. And I understand that this type of interaction is extremely important. But when it comes to, and I've heard stories about people connecting via video chats, you know what I'm saying? Like having, dates and all that because of the Rona and everything, or people falling in love online. I've seen those things. I've heard about those things actually happening and actually working out. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, you're still connecting with a human, with an actual being. Except, David obviously is an AI. But that says theater. But moving on. But it's not like it's a inanimate object that has no soul, that doesn't move, that has nothing to say. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really messed up. It's sad, But if you really think about it, and it's funny because in the chats people have been talking about this too. There are movies about this too. And Lewis is killing it right now with some of them, because there was a movie with Kim Cattrall, Mannequin, like in the 80s, where a man falls in love with an actual mannequin, but it comes to life. And then I don't know how they break the spell or whatever so she can be a real girl, or real woman. But they live, they run off into the sunset and live happily ever after. You know what I'm saying? And it's just funny how you have movies that are actually real like that. Like Lars and the Real Girl. That was the other thing that Lewis threw out. Shout out to Lewis. Thank you so much in the chats. It was Lars and the Real Girl with Ryan Gosling in love with his sex doll that he ordered online. Slowly, he starts to fall in love with an actual real woman. And it's the struggle of him trying to let go of this inanimate object so that he can so that he can pursue a relationship with a real woman. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. Pinocchio, I wouldn't say it's falling in love, but yeah, Pinocchio is interesting too. Wants to turn into a real boy and all that. It's just, it's a very interesting thing, it's a very interesting concept. And like I said, this is not something that's old, or this is not something that's new. I'm sorry. This is very old. There's a lot of stories out there of men and women falling in love with their sex dolls. I just think it's very strange that they will go to the next level or the next step of marriage. And we're just going to have to see what happens. Mr. Super said, I think it was Mr. Super that asked, do you collect life insurance if she or it pops? Bruh. It wouldn't pop, but I could see like pieces wearing apart. Jesus. I just don't want to go there.
Maybe that's where the BDSM comes from.
Yeah, I guess so. Then Rodney on YouTube said, how did they get a divorce if he wants to move on? That's a very good question as well. Very good question. But there are people out here. I'm sure there's lawyers out here. Rudy Giuliani would be perfect on this situation. You know what I'm saying? Let's get him on the case. On that divorce. He'll find something. He'll be like, there's fraudulent things going on here. Let me wipe down this dye off my face. Anyway, we got to jump into the next story. What else? There's another story. This is other freaky stuff. There is a woman that was found not guilty for having sex with a 14-year-old boy because she thought that he was 16. And she was found not guilty. David, you got the story. What's up with this, man?
All right. So this woman, her name is Taya Vincent. She's a mother of 3, and she lives in Gloucestershire, England. And so I think it was just a couple months ago. They only found out about this recently. The trial was recently, but the incident started a couple of months ago when the mother was just in her house. There were a bunch of children outside playing. They say football. I guess it means soccer in this case for us as Americans. Mm-hmm. But either way, there were a bunch of young boys out there. And then she went out and pretty much invited him in. And the child, they didn't release his name because he's underage. He's not old enough to have his name released. Went up to the room with her, and he thought they were going to play video games. And then he says that she undressed and ended up bouncing up and down on him, and that he knew it was wrong. And so she goes on, during the trial, she claimed that she thought he was 16 because of the way he looked. And that's legal. 16 is the age of consent in England, at least, and so that makes it legal. However, he never told her he was that age. Her defense attorney kept pointing towards his Facebook page where he registered that he was born in the year 2000, which would have said he's 20, but she didn't see his Facebook. She never had any interaction with his Facebook, and the only thing she had interaction with was him. And apparently, someone local told her that he's not 16. He's like too young to be invited into her house. She did it anyway. And eventually she was found innocent because her defense attorney kept focusing on his Facebook page and the fact that a young boy is likely to lie about his age. So even though the boy himself said that he never told her his age, that was apparently enough to get her off. And she was found not guilty of doing that.
Careful when you say getting off. Just right. Go ahead.
Right. So, yeah. So this is the one that makes me angry. The defense lawyer kept saying, "Can you be sure he told her she was 14, or if he lied about her age?" And like, that's not a legal argument. That's just stupid. Obviously, an adult woman. This is my opinion at this point, but obviously, an adult woman that's going after 16-year-old boys, even if you will for some reason want to think they're 16-year-old boys, bringing them into her house with her other 3 children of roughly the same age and having sex with them, the child that she brought in. I don't see how she was found innocent at all. And, because the boy, everything from the boy doesn't suggest that there was any sort of consent, that he knew what was going on. When the mother found out, she went up, the mother of the child that was raped found out. She went up to the mother of the 3 children that raped the boy and said, like, why did you have sex with a 14-year-old boy? That's not right. And she said, well, take it to the effing police. So she did, and then they found her innocent. There's really no reason, from what I've seen, to think that there was no reason to assume that the boy had instigated he was 16, or that there was any rational reason whatsoever for her to think he was 16, especially when he was playing with a bunch of other children playing soccer, where they always play soccer with other children. I mean, just the fact, sure, 16 is legal, but the fact she's prowling to pick up a boy that's age 16.
Right.
They never met before. She just went out and pretty much brought him in. So, like, I don't see her picking up a 16-year-old boy. She goes out there, finds a child, says, "Come in, let's." And the boy thought they were going to play video games, and then she gets naked and has sex with him. I don't understand how she was found innocent.
Yeah,
not guilty.
That's Well, I'm trying to pull up the photo of the girl because I want everybody to see. This is a 32-year-old woman. She's a mother of 3. Yeah.
Of course, it does that typical news like story stuff where a lot of it says like she has sex with him or like, and they're talking about a child and they keep making it sound like
there she is.
She's the victim, and they always focus on these pictures of her being attractive and stuff, try to find ways to show off her midriff. It's just sickening that the news, like I was only noticing it because you mentioned yesterday about those 2 guys with Dave Chappelle, and they're kind of doing the same thing here. They're trying to make this sound like it's 2 adult people consenting, not one adult woman with a clearly young boy. And 14-year-olds do not look like adults in the slightest.
No. No, not at all. Of course, they can't show the kid because he's a minor. But regardless, mother accused of having sex with a 14-year-old boy won't admit to having sex with teen, but insists he told her that he was 16. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. For that to be a plausible argument. The kid comes out, she lures the kid in somehow, right? She lures this kid in somehow, and first thing she says is, "How old are you?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm 16." Okay, that's legal. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. There's got to be so much more that's going on. There's got to be so much more going on in this story than what meets the eye, than what they've presented. She's got one hell of a lawyer. She's got one hell of an attorney. But shame on that attorney for trying to turn this into something else. Oh, he could have lied about his age and all that. Still, no matter what, it's still, even if it's a consensual age that, of him being 16, still doesn't matter. This is still a 16-year-old boy that was outside playing soccer with a bunch of other young kids. And she was found not guilty? Bruh, come on, man. Come on, man. Nah, I'm not for that. I'm not about that life. That woman should have been found guilty, period. Because here it is. Let me be, okay. Regardless of anything, this is a 14-year-old boy. For a fact he knows what sex is. For a fact he already knows. You can't sit here and tell me that at 14 years old, he has no earthly clue what sex is. For a fact that by the time, the way that the world is now, the way that how kids are growing up nowadays, everything's at their fingertips. Everything is in their phone. All they got to do is type in something and they can find it. Boys will be boys too. Let's be straight funky on this. You know what I'm saying? Boys are going to talk. Boys talk all the time, especially when it comes to sex, especially when it comes to the female form and all that. And you're telling me that this is a 16-year-old boy, a 14-year-old boy that has no clue about sex? Come on, you're crazy. You're crazy. You're absolutely crazy on this. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, hey T, turn your camera the other way so we can get you.
All right,
there we go. Perfect. So we got another one of our fellas, members of the Pascal Show family, on the show today with us as well. He just jumped on. T. Williams, what's up, man? How you doing, my brother?
What's going on, Pascal? Tanner Vane, David?
Yeah, man. So I got to ask you, man, we're talking about this whole story about this woman getting found not guilty for having sex with a minor. What are your thoughts on this, man?
Not guilty?
Not guilty,
Wow.
bruh. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Well, I think it's a double standard. If that was the other way around and the sexes were changed, I think it'd be a different story. Seriously. I think men have a much harder time dealing with any kind of sexual allegations, especially with children. The pedophile label, the sex offender label is going to follow them the rest of their lives. So her being found not guilty is shocking to me.
Yeah, it is a little. Yeah, preach it to the choir, I guess. Right. This is I'm still trying to figure out it out personally, because I just don't know how she gets away with it, but then some other guy, you know what I mean? Kids are very well advanced sexually right now. Like I said, they know about things at a very, very early age now. You got 9-year-olds that know about stuff. And the way that and that's the other thing too. Like, and that's the thing too. You got the way that kids are brought up nowadays are completely different from what they were when I was growing up. You got parents that are cursing in front of their kids. They're talking about things. There's things that are on TV that these kids are watching with their family. You know what I'm saying? There's these reality shows. You know what I'm saying? There's just the internet, and all they got to do is type in a clackety clack, and there it is. I mean, they're seeing a lot of things that are maturing maturing these kids very, very quickly, to the point where most of the time kids aren't getting the birds and the bees talk anymore. Not really, because they already know about everything already. Dagnabbit. So it doesn't make any sense for this kid to be, I don't know, he's 14 years old. He knows exactly what's going on. Come on, he's 14. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but still, that woman should not have taken advantage of that kid, period. What were you going to say, T?
Yeah, I was thinking about... I think every year is a case of a teacher doing this at school with students. And it's always like, the female advanced towards a high school student. And it's almost like, he gets like, the dap and the applauses at school with his buddies because he's a man on campus. But it's still a problem because he's underage, and the female teacher typically goes into this whole public shame thing, but it happens all the time, and it seems like it's always that same demographic, but if it's the other way around, it's always like a much bigger deal. I think it's always dragged out more in public when there is actually a male doing it to an actual female. It's much worse. I think we judge things in society much worse. Whereas a high school boy was involved in it, he would be like, kind of applauded behind the scenes at least.
David, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think he's completely right. Alex Jones in the chat was even saying that that he lives just south of Gloucestershire, and he hadn't heard any of these stories on the local news. So there's definitely people just aren't reporting on it. Even when I was looking into it, a lot of the major news in that area wasn't talking about it, just the local news. So yeah, when it's a woman molesting a boy, it usually just gets kind of ignored, or it's accepted, or people make jokes about it and move on.
Right.
And but it's not always. That's not how it works. I mean, you said that 14-year-old boys know about sex. And, that's true to, well, I mean, I don't know about all 14-year-old boys, but that's true to a degree that they know what sex is. Maybe some of them have had it, but I think for the most part, people don't lose their virginity until they're much older. I don't know the statistics, but I think it is like around 18 is the average. And it's increasing as we get older. So, it's increasing as the years go on. So, this keeps happening. Like Mr. T said, if it was a man, it would be totally different. It would probably be treated much more legitimately. Like if the girl said that, even if the girl said that she was happy and willing and pretended she was 16, that guy was probably still going to go to jail, because it's the adult's job to know what they're doing. They're the responsible one, especially if they're visually twice the age of the person they're engaging with. There's some sort of obligation to do that, when you're going out and targeting groups of children, even if some of those children are 16, which she claimed she knew some of them were 16. You can guess why. She's clearly targeting that group. And, because we keep kind of letting this go away, we keep showing these women as attractive when they do this. We keep finding them not guilty or saying they have sexual intercourse with a child instead of having raped a child or molested a child. It just keeps making it seem like half of this is okay, but when it happens to a girl child, it's treated as it should be, which is good. It definitely should be treated like how we treat molestation of girl children is correct. We're very strict on it, and we always and that person that does it is ostracized regardless of their intent. It doesn't matter what their intent is. It matters what they've done, and it matters who they're doing it to. So you have this 14-year-old boy. He knows the idea of what sex is. He might even, he might be wanting it itself, but he doesn't necessarily know like the significance of it, how it's going to change his life. He might not even know the actual mechanics of exactly how to perform it. You might just have the general idea or something, and to me, it just seems like she's taking advantage of that. And from his perspective, he knows what sex is, but that's why he knew this was wrong, even though he was engaging in it. It's like a child that is being cornered and is too terrified to say no at that point, or is too unaware that what the adult is doing, who's supposed to have the authority over them, is wrong. And so in cases like this, they're trusting this adult to do right by them, and they're the ones that are being taken advantage of. And in many of these cases, the children, male or female child, think that they are doing right, that maybe even they seduce the adult, but that's not how it works. The woman from Gloucestershire said that the boy was flirting with her. If a 14-year-old boy cannot flirt, effectively for a grown, experienced woman that has 3 children. He just doesn't have the experience to talk to her in the way that she's experienced sex before. And I don't see there being any, just because he knows what sex is, and even if he wants sex, it's not his responsibility to make sure children are well behaved. It's the adult's responsibility. And in any case, in America, it's obviously different because we're in America, but if it's generally the responsibility of the adult to know the age of a child or young person that they're having sex with. If an American that thought a child was 18 and was 14 and had sex with them, they are still going to be tried for the full crime they committed, not for what they claim they thought the age was. Because 14-year-olds don't look like adults and they don't act like adults. And even if 16 is legal in that area, she's targeting people that just turned 16. She's not trying to be safe here and make sure that she's not accidentally picking up someone that's a year younger or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, she's clearly being a predator. That's it. I mean, you're sitting there, you're looking out your window, you're seeing a whole bunch of young kids playing soccer, and you're going, okay, which one is the cutest or whatever? You know what I mean? Clearly, she was doing this in a predatory manner. It's not like it didn't happen just by happenstance, where the soccer ball just rolls up against her door and she opens up the door and there he is, and then they start having sex. I mean, clearly, this was something that she was looking out for. She was on the prowl. She was hunting. You know what I'm saying? There was clearly predatory behavior, and there's no reason why she should be found not there's no reason that she should be found not guilty for this. You know what I mean? She should be found guilty, or she should have been found guilty. But either she bribed the judge, or her lawyer had just one hell of a good argument. But But damn, I still can't believe it, man. I still can't believe it. But of course, what they're doing with the news, as far as the news and the newspapers and all that, they're most definitely doing something about that. I mean, they're putting it out there. So even if she doesn't have to register herself as a sex offender, because I don't know what the laws are in England, but if she doesn't have to do that, they clearly just they literally just stamped her as a sexual predator all throughout this thing. We're talking about it here, and we're in America. You know what I mean? So that's big. T, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna ask, was there a civil suit as well?
That's a good question.
As far as I know, they haven't filed one. I wouldn't be surprised if the mother does, because she's the one that brought up the criminal charges, and those just failed. So that's the next step, I would think.
Yeah, I think they got to get her somehow. They most definitely got to get her somehow, because that's, like I said, ridiculous. That is a sexual predator for show. That is a full-on. That is the bullets. The criteria of what makes a sexual predator, and that woman, my friends, is most definitely one. But anyway, we got to go into a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Love, peace, and wellness for the holidays. Don't cancel them. Prepare, STL. Decorate. Make it as normal as you can, but slow the spread of COVID. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Watch your distance. Prepare, STL, helping St. Louisans of color prepare and prevail.
But see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all of that.
No,
so what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.
Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.
You're going to perform
tonight. I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is going to leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
And property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center, a professional nuisance wildlife management company specializing in providing animal removal for residential, industrial, and commercial clients. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. Exactly which animal are we dealing with? How is the animal getting inside the home? What kind of damage is the animal doing to the structure? Once we get the answers to all of these questions, we develop and write up an action plan to resolve the animal issue completely and provide a quote to implement that action plan. We perform a very in-depth 70-point wildlife inspection. From visually inspecting the highest point, the chimney, to physically crawling inside the attic space and looking for animals, chewed wires, fecal matter, chewed structural wood, we inspect everything. Our inspection process covers all of the following 70 points: animal-proof chimney cap, roof ridge vents, roof to soffit junctions, dormer fascia, attic gable vents, gutter lines, fascia trim, garage door, utility penetrations, water, gas, electric, and cable, bathroom vents, attic roof ridge vents, attic electrical, wiring, junctions, boxes, and lighting, concrete decks, additions, wooden crawl spaces, basement plumbing, penetrations, ceiling, floor, and wall. Wildlife Command Center's mission is to deliver the finest quality wildlife removal and pest control service that is safe for the environment. For more information, call us now.
Hey, welcome back, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and being a part of the conversation. If this is your first time checking out this show, please go crush that like button down below, and most definitely crush also that subscribe button. I do this show Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I do a Tuesday through Thursday 7 p.m. Central Standard Time show. So, during that week, during the middle of the week, you get me for I don't know. You get me twice a day? I don't know. I was going to say something really funny and smart there, but it just flew out the window. Anyway, so definitely be sure to tune in on my evening shows that happen Tuesday through Thursday. And yeah, man, we got to jump into more of this conversation. We got something else that's going on, and this is also still some more world news. I've been liking this. I'm not going to lie, real quick, just side note, just a little left turn here real quick. I do really enjoy that we're starting to talk a little bit more about world news, things that are going on around the world, aside from obviously sexual predators in England and stuff like that. But I really am enjoying being able to bring in a little bit of things that are going on aside from COVID-19 in the US. You know what I'm saying? So it's been a nice little breath of fresh air to be able to talk about other things that are going on in the world. One of the things that we got to talk about, this is also world news. This is something that's coming out straight out of India. There was a wedding that was torn apart, and this is very sad. It's a very sad story. David's got the story. What to go on, bruh?
All right, so there's a new law in India that just was passed within the past month or two, and it's based on a concern that a lot of right-wing Hindu groups have. It's almost it would probably be called a conspiracy theory here, but basically it's this idea that they call a love jihad, which is an alleged religious conversion conspiracy by Muslim men to lure Hindu women into marriage and away from their faith. And so, as part of this new law, Owais Ahmed who's a Muslim, was arrested on Wednesday after a Hindu man accused him of coercing and trying to lure his daughter away from her Hindu husband and into converting to Islam. He appeared in court and was remanded in custody for 14 days pending the trial. And this is the first arrest ever under the new law. And a Uttar Pradesh, which is a province, officer named Rajesh Kumar was quoted as saying that this will also be the first full trial or anything or any validation of the law within India so far. And so he's the official name of the law is Prohibition of Unlawful Conversion of Religion Ordinance 2020, and the new law states that basically that intermarriage between religions is wrong if it's for the purpose of conversion, and that forced conversion is wrong. And generally, forced conversion doesn't require much evidence for the forced part. It seems like a claim is enough to initiate the investigation, at least in this case. And ideally, from the lawmaker's perspective, it's there to prevent forced or fraudulent religious conversion. or due to misrepresentation, influence, or allurement by marriage or fraudulent means. So getting married to convert. So if you get married to someone of another religion and they believe it's specifically to convert that person of that religion, specifically Hindu and Islam, then that's a crime. And of course, you can't prove why someone married someone, so it's all based on allegations of other people.
Wow.
And that's what we're seeing here is that a man claimed that this guy was trying to convert his wife and marry her as part of this love jihad conspiracy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
And of course, no other law like this exists in any other major nation involved in global politics, at least. So a lot of left-wing Hindus and Muslims in general say that this is a ploy by the politicians to disrupt communal harmony, fuel social conflict, and disregard constitutional provisions like the state not discriminating against citizens on any ground. And let's see. And one last thing is that they go on to say that Modi's ruling party is creating an environment in the nation where consenting adults would be at the mercy of state power. Marriage is a personal decision, and they are putting curbs on it, which is like snatching away personal liberty. And as far as the wedding being interrupted, that was the second case, which was tied to their investigation of this, though they ended up not being related. So I'm not sure what evidence they got this from, but they ended up breaking up a marriage between a Hindu woman and a Muslim man in the state capital, the Uttar Pradesh state capital of Lucknow. And they halted celebrations so that both families could be brought to the police station, where the officers told the family they would need to get permission from the state government before going ahead with the ceremony to ensure the new law was not being violated, which is to say to ensure that the Hindu woman was marrying of her own volition and that the Muslim man was not marrying her just to convert her to Islam. And so originally this was related to the initial investigation, though it seems like that was just, they ended up being completely unrelated. So just two separate strikes, ultimately. One on a man alleged to be trying to seduce a guy's wife and allegedly trying to convert her, and another one that is a legitimate marriage between a Hindu man and Hindu woman and a Muslim man that is under investigation specifically because they need some sort of affidavit saying that she's doing this of her own volition and that the man is not trying to convert her.
Oh, wow. That's so messed up.
Yep.
That is so jacked up, y'all. The fact that there is that thought going through their minds, the fact that they think that this is like a love jihad or like a love, what's the word? What's the right word? You said it a couple times.
Conspiracy.
Like a love conspiracy. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we're going to marry, so that to force this person to convert so that you have less of this one faith. You know what I'm saying? It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And the fact that there are people out there that really do truly believe this. There are groups of people that believe this, that they're like, that's insane. That's really, really insane, y'all. Because I'm a big believer on, like I just said earlier in the show today, and in fact, throughout this entire week, I've been saying, be who you want to be and love who you want to love. As long as it's not hurting nobody, there's no big deal. You should love who you love, and that's it. Period. The fact that is now we're talking about this, and this is actually happening in India, where they are stopping people who genuinely love each other because of a conspiracy theory. And that's the thing that's ruling it all, is insane. That's absolutely insane. T, what do you think of this, man?
Yeah, I mean, I think you made a great point in terms of loving who you love. And if it's legal, it doesn't hurt anybody else, it should be fine. It's not like it's a elderly man with a young child. These are adults. who both consent to marriage. And I know there are strict laws in certain Muslim countries, but
true.
At the same time, how can you prove that the non-Muslim doesn't really want to convert to Islam and marry their husband or wife? You know, you can't prove that. So, you know, I think you should let time play out and see if it's legit. You know, and it probably can be compared to maybe when someone marries an immigrant here, and is it really love or not? You know, after a certain window of time, you'll see, you know, was it legit or not? So maybe these Muslim countries need to enact some kind of policy or law where maybe they're under investigation for maybe a few years just to see if it's legit. And if everything checks out and they're both devout Muslims and it's real love, then it should be valid.
David.
Yeah, I agree. This kind of reminds me of, at least in America, how, you know, in the past, most recently, you know, like with multiracial marriages, a lot of the times, like black men were targeted for white women going to their neighborhoods and hooking up with them, as if the men somehow seduced them into their area and that it wasn't the woman's free will. And you see this with many other circumstances, but I think that's the most poignant in our history. This is exactly the same thing. It's focused on protecting Hindu women from Muslim men. And by that, they mean keeping Hindu women, as far as I see it, keeping them within the group that they think they should belong to, not letting them mingle with whoever they like or whoever they want to. It's just a form of social control to presumably keep the less powerful population away from influence of the powerful populations of women folk as they see them.
Yeah. I just, the one thing that I'm still trying to wrap my mind around is that this is actually something that is being practiced right now, that they are stopping people from naturally falling in love with somebody that they love, no matter that is transcending beyond religious beliefs. You know, love is supposed to be love. It's bigger. You know, it goes beyond just religious beliefs and race and you know, your own specific beliefs. Love is love. And for them to sit there and arrest and stop them from doing something because of some conspiracy theory of, oh, you're trying to do a genocide on my people by marrying into our people so that you eradicate our people, is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But of course, we live in a different world. You know, we're in America. We have certain liberties, and there are things that are we are a little bit more laid back out here in comparison to other corners of the world. So obviously I'm speaking from a Western civilized mindset. So of course I can't, you know, of course I'm speaking on my own, you know, where I came from or what I grew up with and what I know. So as the rest of the fellas on the show today. But at the same time, you can't deny that love is love and love is a universal thing. It's not like this fangled thing that just was created over here in America and then it just became a popular thing. Love is love. And if you love somebody, and it doesn't matter if they are Catholic, Muslim, Jewish, it doesn't matter. A conspiracy, an idea of a conspiracy of, oh, we'll just marry in. We'll get them and we'll eradicate a group of people. We'll start a genocide through marriage is, to me, a little really far-fetched and extremely radical with no proof. And I feel like that's just their way of finding some sort of excuse to justify their actions that they are doing right now. But as you saw in that photo, that photo that I showed you from the article that David was reading from, you can see that there are people that are out there going, hey, you know, we should be able to love who we love, not because of their religion. we should be able to love who we love. And the fact that is so nuts. Like I just want to point this out, y'all. The certain liberties that we have in this country, certain liberties that a lot of other countries have. Some other countries don't have those liberties, and that's insane to me. But it's a humbling and eye-opening thing to realize that, wow, you in certain places you can't go and love somebody who's of a different race. You can't go and love somebody who has a certain last name sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's Singh? No. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's Hindu? Oh, no. He's Muslim? No. That's insane to me. But it's a very eye-opening thing that we have certain liberties. As much as we take for granted these certain type of liberties, there are other countries that people are getting killed because they love somebody who they love. That's an eye-opening thing, y'all. Man, it's such a shame. The story is sad. It's a very sad story. I hope they find a way to remedy this issue, or I hope that India and the people of India that are against this whole thing, in regards to inter-religion marriage, I hope they start to open their eyes and start to see the light a little bit, because it's not that. It's not that at all.
Yeah, Pascal, I was going to say, India is such a huge country. Over 1 billion people live there. There are so many different regions in India, and that have different beliefs, religion, different caste systems, skin color, different traditions, so languages. So a lot of things are really drawn by barrier or borderlines in India. And I'm guessing here that this is the wrong person from the wrong part of India, is trying to intermingle, and they're not having it, And you see even in Bollywood, and you see maybe some Indians that come here. I mean, they're typically from a certain region because they're afforded those liberties,
right? And
socioeconomically, they're in a higher class or caste status as someone else. So. I'm pretty sure someone from a local village can't get up and marry somebody, from another part if it's not prearranged or if it's not matching up with their traditions.
Yeah, it's sad. It's super sad. You know what I mean? And like I said, T just said some really serious stuff. I mean, there is the caste systems. There are different religions, different languages, all different things. I mean, shoot, it's even the color. The tint of their skin, even, you know what I'm saying? That people are instantly ostracized for as well, and it's sad, And I hope at some point, I don't know, this might be a long journey for them, but I hope that they find. I hope at some point they find a way to open their eyes. There's a lot of things in India that need to be restructured. And reapproached. So, yeah, man. I still stand on love who you love, but I'm coming from a privileged Western civilized mindset. I love who I love, and I have every right to love who I love, and I feel like everybody else in the world should do the same. So thoughts and prayers go out to all those people who are in love with in India, who are in love illegally.
Wow.
Isn't that messed up? That's messed up, yo. That is really messed up. But anyway, we got to go into the next story. We got the next story here. This is something that's breaking right now. Letitia Wright of Black Panther. She is Black Panther's sister, the funny, witty, genius, scientist sister that, if I'm correct, no, she's not. There was rumors that she was going to be the next Black Panther, but she is not, because obviously, may he rest in peace. Chadwick Boseman passed a few months back, and they are now passing the torch and passing the Black Panther costume over to somebody else. But she's been getting it. Letitia Wright has been getting under fire recently, at least of the last few hours, over her alleged anti-vaxxing ideas. T has the story. What's a guam, bruh?
Yeah, so actress Letitia Wright has become embroiled in controversy after sharing a video making unsubstantiated claims about the safety of COVID-19 vaccines. The Black Panther star posted a link to a video whose host said people taking the vaccines should have to hope it doesn't make them grow extra limbs. After being criticized on Twitter, she said she wasn't against vaccines, but it was important to ask questions. Later on, she, like you said, she received so much backlash. Someone tweeted, "Cancel Black Panther 2 immediately."
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I want y'all to know something here, okay? All right. Obviously, I'm not Letitia Wright. Obviously, I'm not, an actress being in one of the highest grossing movies out there, Marvel movies out there and all that stuff. And I mean, arguably, obviously, at one point it was the highest grossing Marvel movie. So before you guys, all you fanboys start going after me and stuff, hold up, time out. Technically, it was for a minute, okay? Let's move on. Anyway, here it is. Obviously, I'm not popular. You know what I mean? I don't have millions of people listening to every single keystroke and all that stuff that I put up on Twitter. Shameless plug. Follow me on Twitter, The Pascal Show, one word. Anyway, moving on, because it would be great to have a couple million people watching my every keystroke I do and judging me on putting up a video about the vaccine and your concerns of it. Here it is, though. Just because, even myself, I've talked about the vaccine multiple times. We've all talked about this vaccine on the show a million times. And for the millionth and one time, we are talking about it again today. But that does not mean that I myself am a anti-vaxxer. Same thing with Letitia. Just because she put something out there saying, hey, hopefully it doesn't make us grow a third limb, does not mean that she is an anti-vaxxer. It just means that she's concerned. Just like every other person that's literally going, hey, I really want to take this vaccine. You're telling me in your heart of hearts, even though you are 110% going to go and take that vaccine, not one little tiny inkling in the back of your mind, that little seed in the back of your mind is going, what if? What if? Come on, y'all. You got to be real. Even if you're going, it's going to save lives. Yes. You're still going, but what if? What if? Still. So I don't understand why people are trying to say cancel Black Panther. Y'all need to go somewhere with that mess. That's what I personally think. We all have the same concerns. She just happened to put something out there to say, hey guys, just so you guys know, I mean, do it, but just do it cautiously. You know what I mean? Do it with caution. David, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she said anything unreasonable from what I heard, and she has reasonable concerns. Beyond that, I don't see what her beliefs as far as the vaccine go have to do with producing the next Black Panther movie, and I don't think it should have any effect on the Black Panther movie, and anyone who wants it to stop because of her personal views is wrong, in my opinion. So yeah, I don't know, man. It just seems like people are trying to make a reasonable concern out of hers into some reason to cancel the movie or to cancel her. And right. I don't think it's legitimate or necessary or even a good idea. She should be allowed to say what she wants. Yeah. She didn't say anything unreasonable. And canceling Black Panther 2 would be stupid and kind of an insult to Boseman. And I think everyone does want to see Black Panther 2. So it seems a weird connection to cancel the movie because she's concerned about the vaccines in the first place.
And thank you for saying that, because here it is. People are like, I feel like everybody is so quick to squeeze that cancel trigger with the quickness. Everybody, I feel like, oh my God. Well, Twitter's filled with a whole bunch of drama queens anyway. But it's just they're so quick to jump on and go, cancel her. And it's like, bruh, come on. Come on. Think for yourself for a second, just like she did. There's nothing wrong with her sitting there and saying those things. It doesn't mean that there's anything, doesn't mean that you should be canceled for putting out something that you go, hey guys, this is me, just a little concerned. You know what I'm saying? Just be safe, just be careful. I have the same concerns just like every other average American or average person out here. You know, not average American, but, you know, average person out here. We all have the same concerns. So why not think for yourself? She put something out does not automatically mean that she is an anti-vaxxer. Actually, I'm trying to find the video too.
Pascal actually has been removed from Twitter.
Ah, damn. Damn.
They took it off.
Because she got a lot. I'm sure she took it down because she got a lot of backlash. Say again?
Yeah. She has a lot of followers. So her putting a statement out there is a cause of concern. They're really taking away her amendment rights to freedom of speech. You know, she can't speak her truths, unfortunately.
Right.
And it's going to be, I think, a lot of people are going to voice their opinion on this vaccine because I believe that it's probably like a microwave version of the vaccine.
Yeah.
You know, it's happening quickly. You know, we also wait for the home cooked version. You know, the next year or so. This is quickly done by several different companies. Yeah. After we were told back in April that it would be a while before they get any kind of vaccine.
It'll gonna be a minute. They were saying it gonna be a minute, y'all. Like yo, see how my bank account is set up? It gonna be a minute, and then all of a sudden they go, "I got the money." It's like, where do you get this money? Yo, where did this come from, man? Where did it come from? But sorry, T. What were you? Continue, please.
Yeah, no, I mean, but the only person that really was saying that is cooking right now, which I think Trump put it out there that we're going to have this vaccine before you know it. So his supporters are really backing him up. But the rest of us are kind of like, I don't know about that.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And this, the last, 4 weeks or so, 6 weeks or so has been like vaccine. So, you know, I don't know here. It's interesting.
Yeah, that is very true. Letitia did put out a tweet a few hours ago. I don't know if you read this or not in that article, but I'm just gonna if you did, I'm just gonna reread it. This is after all the backlash, right? She said in one of them that was 14 hours ago, if you don't conform to popular opinions but ask questions and think for yourself, you get canceled. Laughing face. Then 4 hours ago, she said, my intention was not to hurt anyone. My only intention of posting the video was it raised my concerns with what the vaccine contains and what we are putting into our bodies. Nothing else. I feel like that is a fair bundle of concerns. I feel like that's a fair thing to do. I know that she got in a lot of trouble. I'm sure her agent probably was like, hey, Letitia, hey, what's up? Hello, girl. Yeah, love. You're going to have to take that down off your Twitter. It'd be great. Thank you, love. That's probably what happened. And she's like, you know what? I don't want to get canceled. I love securing the bags. I love being on Black Panther. So let me take this stuff down with the quickness. And I don't think, like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with her stating her opinion. That is the thing. She has her rights to do whatever the hell she wants and speak her mind. This is what Twitter's for. That's what Twitter's for. Now, it would have been really interesting if she put out that twit. See, I always say twit. If she put out that tweet, I always say twits. If she put out that twit, all right, and then Twitter flagged her, that'd be a different conversation. You know, something that Trump's been getting a lot lately. He'll be like, I won the election. Here it is, blah, blah, blah. And he keeps getting slapped with flags, right? Would have been totally understandable if she put that out and then she got slapped in the face with something, with being flagged. She wasn't getting flagged. She's just getting flagged by a whole bunch of people that just want to tear her down because she's sitting there going, hey, I am concerned about said thing. Now, from my understanding, Letitia is from England, correct? She is English. Yeah?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, she's English. And guess who are the people that are getting it first? Good old Britain. Good old Great Britain. Right? So of course she's going to sit there and say, hey, I'm a little concerned. You know what I mean? A little bit. You know what I mean?
Fauci's concerned for the people in the UK. I don't blame her for being concerned.
Well, I mean, you know, she obviously, clearly, she's not going to be first in line getting that stuff. But she's saying, hey, to my people who are about to be guinea pigs, sorry to say that, but we've talked about it multiple times on the show, proceed with caution. That's all she's saying. Proceed with caution. And like I said a second ago, earlier, you know for a fact that even if you end up going and getting the vaccine, no judgment passed on you guys at all, to anyone who's going to get the vaccine. But you can't tell me that not 1 second that you're not having that one thought in your mind of like, they really cooked this thing up and pumped it out so fast. Is it really going to be effective? Or you hear all these stories about, hey, the side effects. If you get the side effects, it ain't a walk in the park, y'all. You hear about that. You know for a fact you have that in the back of your mind. Doesn't matter if it's Trump approved. It's got Trump's stamp on it. And it's like it's branded. No matter what, you're still going to hear about, you're still going to have those concerns. So she's just saying that. And there's nothing wrong with that. She should not be thrown under the bus for saying what I feel like everybody else is saying too. And just to make sure, I don't want to be like I don't want to be a jerk and come off like an idiot. Just to make sure. Oh. Well, she's from Guyana. She's from Guyana. But yes, she lives in England. Been in a bunch of British television series, television shows, and all that stuff. So yes, I just wanted to make sure because I would hate for her to, you know what I mean? I hate for me to say that and then all of a sudden we find out that she's, you know, American or something like that. Still doesn't matter because we're probably going to be next up in line for this. But like I said, she has every right to say what she needs to say. This is what Twitter's for, to put out those tweets, to put out those twits. There's nothing wrong with that. There shouldn't be any issue with it. And they shouldn't be trying to cancel her for voicing her opinion. Now, if she was trying to say something that was extremely radical, that'd be one thing. Like extremely racist or extremely, whatever. Anything other than, I feel like you could say cancel her if it was something that was just absolutely ridiculously wrong. But her putting out her opinion, she shouldn't be canceled for that. That's what I think on that. But anyway, that's the show, guys. That's what wraps it up. We got to wrap this up, B. You know what I'm saying? The orchestral music's about to come on. It's like, yeah, I wanted to say thank you so much. I love you, Ma. You know what I mean? Before you get pulled off from the microphone. But I want to say a big thank you to Jack for being on earlier today. Huge thank you to T for coming on. Hey, man, you got time to do this more often?
Yeah, I mean, the same time is good for me. Yeah, for sure.
Every day?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Welcome to the show. Bye-bye.
Oh, you guys?
Yeah. No. Seriously, because this was something I wanted to talk to you about anyway. Might as well do it live. Why not? We're going to do it live. So we're doing it live. So, so yeah, man, it would be great to have you on the show, man. So bet. That's dope. Okay, so welcome to the show. A new co-host, y'all. T. Williams. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Welcome. David, of course.
Show, man.
Yeah. And David, thank you so much, as always, being on the show. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man, my pleasure. It was a good chat today.
Yeah, it was good. Something different. I mean, we still talked about vaccine stuff. I mean, what else is new? There really isn't any breaking news in regards to the elections and all that we've been waiting for. We all are waiting for that. We all want it to be over. Just tell us who won so we can move on. Damn. But I want to say big thank you to everybody who tuned in, being a part of the conversation. It really does mean a lot. You guys are the bomb. .com. Yeah. I threw that I said it one time before earlier this week, I think. So I was just like, might as well bring it back. Just bring it back. You know what I'm saying? It's some old 90s stuff, I think, right? It's the bomb.com. That's a throwback, deep cuts. Anyway, man, I need to do a segment called Deep Cuts by Pascal. You know what I'm saying? Just nothing but old school-ish, you know? Just for fun. I don't know. Make David dance like AC Slater for a second. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what kind of dance that is, so I'll just go ahead and disagree.
Hey, baby, just Google it, love. Google. Just use the Google, love. It's a piece of cake. But anyway, we got to get going. I love all you guys. Have a safe and wonderful weekend. I'm sure there's going to be some pop-up videos throughout the weekend. So keep your peepers open. Keep them wide open to make sure you don't miss out. Excuse me. You don't miss out on anything throughout this weekend, because you know for a fact there's going to be something that just drops. Some sort of bomb's going to drop. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, guys. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys this weekend. All right? See you guys then. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Love, peace, and wellness for the holidays. Don't cancel them. Prepare, STL. Decorate. Make it as normal as you can, but slow the spread of COVID. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Watch your distance. Prepare, STL, helping St. Louisans of color prepare and prevail.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all of that.
No,
so what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.
Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.